your upcoming opponent, Tyson Nam, he called you out after his last win, and you guys. Actually, before I ask you about the matchup, were you flattered or were you surprised?
I don't know how to feel about it because it's one thing when guys are like, you know what, Matt Schnell's tough. I like how he fights. Let's get down. That's flattering. But sometimes I feel like guys say your name because they feel as if you're low hanging fruit. So that's been my approach throughout this camp. That's been in the back of my mind. These guys who come out and they call my name, they ain't calling my name because they want to get into a death battle. They're calling my name because they think they can beat me. So sometimes you get what you want, and I got all the respect in the world for this guy. He has no idea that I've been watching him his entire career because long before I got into this sport, I was a fan of it, and I know who Tyson Nam is. I've always kept an eye on him. I think he's a great fighter, and anytime you step in there against guys that you respect, they tend to bring the best out of you. So that's what I expect.
When you look at his UFC run, just his UFC run, he's only 1-2. So what are your thoughts on the performances he's had?
He's had some great fights, though. I mean, he stepped in with Sergio on short notice and scrapped, and I think Sergio edged him out in every round, but it was a competitive fight, and he clipped Sergio a few times, had some good moments. The Kai Kara-France fight was a little closer. I think Kai still kind of edged out each round and was kind of the better competitor on that night. And then what can you say about his last performance? Man, sleep slapped a guy. So a little marshmallow of a guy, but a guy all the same. And he cleaned his clock. And I know that guy came in super soft. I mean, frick. But dude could still kickbox, and you got to give the devil his due. Tyson Nam is a stud. And, I could look at his UFC work and be like, I'm going to beat this guy. I think I'm better than Sergio. I think I'm better than Kyle. But come on now. Let's look at this man's whole body of work. Yeah. He's got some big wins. He's done some big things. And that's what excites me. I want to get out here and test myself against guys who have done it at the highest level, and Tyson Nam is that.
Yeah, it almost seems like he his performances have elevated, every single time he comes up. So you're basically getting the best version of Tyson. So if you beat him, it's the best Tyson.
Yeah, and he's riding some momentum coming off his first UFC win. I think he's feeling good about things. That's okay. That's okay. I'm one of the best. I'm one of the best. Period. And I'm gonna go out there and put these hands on this young man.
Now, when you stack your skills against his skills, what do you see?
It's hard to say. He's pretty sharp on the feet. Throws big shots. There's no place in this game that I'm not competent. There's no place this fight can take place in which I don't have an answer. So, it typically when I fight these guys, they have advantages over me. There is no doubt. But I like my chances in a fist fight, and we're gonna get out there, bite down, throw some leather around, and sort this thing out. Tyson Nam, a lot of fights, never been submitted. He doesn't seem like he gets into many grappling exchanges. So I kind of expect a kickboxing match a little bit. It seems like that's the way things go for him. So let's go. I'm game.
The ground, it has to go there. Like you said, it's a fight. You know what I mean? So do you see big holes in there?
I don't. I've ran back a lot of his fights and watched a lot of them. He's fought some good grapplers, and a guy that just seems to be fall into the right positions and end up back on his feet. And I know he trained with some high level grapplers at one point because he has great. His takedown defense is pretty sharp, and he's got a good reaction to the level change. So I expect a competitive fight, a guy who has a full gamut of understanding of the game, much like myself. And it's up to me to find the places where maybe I'm a little better and keep the fight in those places. So,
how do you think Schnell's style stacks up against your style?
Well, Schnell, he's top 10 for a reason. He's good in striking. He's really good on top of the ground and grappling. So, any which way he's good. But as for myself, like I said, I just got freakish knockout power. I feel like I am the hardest hitting flyweight in the UFC.
With Schnell, in his last performance against Alexandre Pantoja, he was knocked out. Do you feel like that could have an effect on how he approaches you? Because you do have that knockout power also.
I'm sure anybody that I face, I mean, it's not a mystery or surprise what I'm wanting to do, but I think I've planned my training, picked my partners specifically for Schnell, so I can work my game plan and try to come away with how I like winning fights.
Oh, so do you even see this fight going out the first round? Do you envision it going out the first round in this fight?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm a finisher. Matt Schnell's a finisher, so someone probably is going to get finished and pretty quickly. I mean, we're both hungry. It's 2020. Nothing going good in this year, so we want to do something good, something big, something entertaining for the fans.